I wonder, do you think any more people will be coming, or this is our class? Okay. So anything interesting to tell me from yesterday? Did you do anything, watch anything, see anything? I was talking earlier about American Idol and how disappointing about this man who went down instead of up. Did you practice your activities last night? Were you nervous? Because you know a video today? Are you nervous? You're not nervous. Am I nervous?
No.
Yes, a little bit. Can you see? I'll try not to be nervous. All right. We're going to see a video by a man called Steve Ford, who he calls himself ESLportal.com. If you want to go to this one, you can go and you can see lots of lessons in business English, lots of lessons on idiom. He's actually quite an interesting man. I'm looking to see if he has a hair transplant, but that's not an important detail. All right. He's going to talk about job interviews and give you some idea of what not to say in a job interview. Okay? Let's see where he's going.
Hello, and welcome to PrivateEnglishPortal.com. My name is Steve, and you've come to a new video series. It's called Business Question of the Week. Probably you're familiar with Peppy Question of the Week, but hey, I'm dressed a little differently. Okay, now I'm the guy in the suit and tie. Okay, I'm still your teacher, but now I'm doing the business end of things. And I have a lot of emails requesting that I address the business English, and I said, what the heck, why not? So here we are, and I've got an email here from Jacob from Israel, and his question is he would like to know the do's and the don'ts of doing a job interview in English. Well, first of all, thank you, Jacob, for your question. And I'm going to give you a really fast answer because, as we know in the business world, time is money, right? And what I will tell you are two things regarding the do's and the don'ts. The first thing is that it is quite common in a job interview that one of the starting questions to kind of break the ice and bring you closer together with the interviewer, okay, and you are the interviewee, right? Is they will many times ask, tell me a bit about yourself, okay? Now, of course, when they're asking that in an interview, they won't be as smiley as your teacher is here. I can kind of put on a more serious face, maybe. Tell me a bit about yourself, okay? And your answer to that for the don'ts would be the following.
Sure. In grade 7, I was great at writing. And at that same time, I had a cousin. And his father was a journalist. So because I had a crush on him, you know, I kind of wanted to become a journalist to just, you know, just to be closer to him. And mostly, that was the first time I thought about becoming a journalist. And then, you know, after that, things were, you know,
it's
happening,
7 minutes long.
going,
We've got 90 minutes.
here I am.
Okay, so that is the kind of answer that you don't want to give. You don't want to give too much information. You don't want to go too much into detail. Keep it short. Keep it short and sweet, okay, as they say. And that.
I just want to stop you there. What was the problem with her answer? Why was this not a good answer? What did she do? What did she do that was... It doesn't really belong to her interview. Oh, well, when I was in grade 7 and then I had a crush on somebody, then I wanted to copy what he was doing. The interviewer's going to say this. I'm sorry?
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care about that, not very much. And is she wasting his time a little bit? I think so. Let's continue and see if the others are any better.
That way, not only are you not giving too much information away about yourself, okay, telling what, maybe what you like to do when you're a child or something like that, you want to keep it very short and straight to the point, okay? So even with the information regarding your professional career, you want to keep that short and you want to keep that very straight to the point, okay? That's something I'm sure, as you know, in the business world, everything is fast, 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 and we want to keep things very straightforward, okay? So that is something very important to focus on. And here is the do, okay? Here are one of the do's for that same tell me a bit about yourself, okay?
Sure. Since I finished my master's degree, I started working for the New York Times. And that was a great experience. I learned a lot with them. After that, I went to South America and Africa as a special correspondent for the Washington Post. And that was also a very, very important experience in my career. So now I'm back to the United States.
Take off again. Why was that one better? He will tell you, but you tell me first. Why was that better?
He tells us her skill.
You're talking about her
her
skills and also her experience and her education. And he was probably impressed that she had a master's and that also she had worked for 2 very important newspapers. So she was much more impressive this time. She seemed like a professional, didn't she? Not an airhead. What does this mean, straight to the point? Let's get straight to the point. Here's the point of your pencil. Get straight to the... Don't waste any time. Get right to it. Okay? He used another expression. He said, you want to be straightforward in your answer. So that means just answer the question, not anything more. There was another idiom he used earlier. He said, time is money. What does that mean? Time is money. Time equals money. What is that? If you spend too much time, you spend too much money. So don't waste your time and you won't waste your money. All right, let's see how he handles the next situation.
Okay, so that is the kind of style you want to use, the approach you want to get your information across in a very efficient and very kind of cut and dry manner, okay? Now, the second part of Jacob's question is, what would you consider being your weakness, okay, or your weak point, okay? This is a question which comes up in a job interview time and time again, okay? And once again, I'm saying it with a smiley face, but it would definitely be said in a more, probably, serious kind of setting. And here's the don'ts, one of the don'ts for answering that question.
My weaknesses? I don't have any. I don't think I ever had any. Maybe once, one of my bosses, he told me that I was very, very unorganized, but this was his opinion, because, my desk was always a mess, but it was a kind of mess that I could understand. So I think that's good enough.
Okay, so you want to try and avoid...
What was the problem? What did she do wrong?
She was messy.
Okay, one by one. Yes?
Talking about that boss.
Yes, talking badly about her boss. Said, oh, it's your fault, not my fault. What else? She's lying because I have no weaknesses. Oh yeah, only one. That's funny. Anything else she did? What about when she said, oh, my desk is a mess?
She's not organized.
She's not organized. But she said, oh, I heard people say this before. Oh, my desk is a mess, but I can always find what I want. Does a boss believe this? If you're messy, you're messy. If you're tidy, you're tidy. The boss is smart, he understands that. All right, let's see what the next situation is.
Giving an answer like the one you just saw. You want to give an answer which is, let's say, it's still straightforward, it's still honest, but at the same time, it's, I don't want to say evasive, but let's say politically correct. Okay? So a great typical answer for what would you consider to be one of your weaknesses would be the following. This is one of the do's.
My weaknesses? Well, my previous employers always told me not to worry too much, not to work too much, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I always forget to take some time for myself and for my family. And they all complained a little bit about that. They said, I can become stressed out, so that's it. I need to learn how to relax.
Okay, I'll talk first before you talk.
Okay,
So, what was she really saying about herself? What was the message behind the message? I really work hard. I work so hard that my boss has to tell me to stop working. Her boss is going to be, oh, wow, you're the employer I want. Isn't it interesting how she turns this weakness into a strength? Quite clever, isn't it? All right, let's see his comment.
One was a great answer, okay? That's the kind of answer you want to give in a job interview, okay? You want to show that you have a kind of sense of defining yourself, okay? But at the same time, you don't want to knock yourself down, right? You don't want to be your own worst critic, okay? So that's a way that you can show that you're able to analyze yourself, but at the same time, you're always putting yourself in a higher position, a position of advantage, okay? And that is the bottom line in all of this in the job interview. You want to be in a position of advantage where you are marketing yourself in the best way possible, okay? Okay, so Jacob, I hope that answers your question, and I look forward to the next business question of the week next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like him?
Yes.
That's quite good, isn't he? He's quite clear. What else did you like? What do you like about him? Would you go to a video of his to see him?
Yes.
Would you look at his videos?
Yes.
Why?
There's quite lots of information we can get.
Yes, a lot of information, a lot of new idioms. I looked at one this morning where he was in France and he was looking for his ESL classroom, but instead of his ESL classroom, he found a modeling agency where he was supposed to take his clothes off so they could paint a picture about him. And his story was how embarrassed he was because he was in the wrong room. He was in room 321 instead of room 312. And the lady understood and said, oh, your room is down the hall. I'm sorry, you're going. So he has some funny stories and anecdotes. Just a couple of little questions about his vocabulary. He said, you're not really being evasive. What does that mean? He said, you're not really being evasive. I think I'll explain that. When you're evasive, it means you're trying